Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Thea 2 The Shattering, where today we are starting a new game as nomadic followers of Stri. People were pretty divided in the comments the last episode about whether they wanted to see a nomad game or a settle on a different island game. If you wanted to see the latter of those two things, don't worry, that's what we'll do in our next game. But I think it makes a lot of thematic sense to be wanderers in the service of Stri. Come with me into the winds and know true freedom, right? There's probably no god with whom this lifestyle meshes better thematically, right? So, before we get in, I do want to mention some people were talking about increasing the difficulty further. If you know of some difficulty settings to make things trickier that also make the game more interesting strategically, I would love to hear about those in the comments below, but I should make clear I have absolutely no interest in increasing the difficulty just because 203 is a higher number than 150. I want to have fun. The game is, in general, games are not that fun when they are too easy, but with a strategy game in particular, if you adjust the difficulty sort of, I don't mean this to sound quite as insulting as it's going to sound, but naively, just by like turning all the dials up, usually what you end up doing is collapsing the decision space down to like one or two workable lines. And to be perfectly honest, I already feel like our decision space has been collapsed a little bit by the total cost of traits down to 5 and everything. So I'm not saying that I am definitely not going to raise the difficulty. I'm saying if you know some difficulty increases that have interesting strategic implications, feel free to leave those in the comments below, and I will read them and consider them for future games. But we're not just going to turn it up because the dial goes up further. Anyway, let's do the thing. So, I was looking at the cards a little bit, and it's possible that the smart move here is to unlock some of these light cards. Like, we definitely want to play with the Elf Childs. That's our Harmony slot spoken for. It's possible that it's reasonable to pick up, like, New Day or Jumping Fish. Jumping Fish has obvious application in this game. But I decided to use our light slot for a Craftsman, because I think we're going to have a little bit of trouble crafting in the early game, and if we are not settling, then we want to use our ring we want to use our Cosmic Seed for a ring as early as possible, right? So this is what I'm theorizing might be a good way to go. I know, like, 3 children and a craftsman is not an ideal combat party at the beginning of the game, but remember, one of these children is biased toward warrior and the other is biased toward hunter. If we can get to the point where either one of them grows up, that probably gets us through the rest of the early game. It's going to be tricky, not having a house demon to rely on, not being able to rely on the gathering and crafting bonus from the town idol, but we're going to see. My guess is this is a game where we're going to have a couple of abortive attempts as we figure it out before we find something that actually works. And then we're bringing the advanced gathering tools and the advanced equipment, as always. These are just really good cards. And Granny's Pantry, I thought it might be a good idea for us to start with some extra food. Jumping Fish does sound really good. I don't know, maybe it's better to drop Craftsman, use that other trait point to bring in, like, a Scoundrel or a Rat even. Having a Beast on hand does make some of those early Beast combat events a little bit easier, because you get the Beast option that can get them to just go away. Maybe that's the better thing to do. I don't know, let's try it this way first. Mostly I was just concerned that with two warrior children and an elf, we might not be able to build stuff, and like we're going to need to build better items and weapons and stuff at some point. Alright, let's try it. Let's go. The Chosen. I'm trying to think, does it matter much who the Chosen is for our purposes? We don't have to worry too much about like being able to bring the Chosen to events, because our whole civilization is coming with us to all of the events. Is there a reason it shouldn't be a child? Or I guess the Chosen gets some extra shielding and stuff, right? So maybe it would be a good idea to have it be the only adult, just to help us carry through those early challenges. I don't know that it matters very much, to be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, let's just go. I'm trying to think. You need the Chosen to show up to combat, or to show up to events, for a couple of the events in the plotline. And obviously the person our Chosen was tremendously important when we were followers of our previous god, since the Chosen got that awesome ability. Here I don't think it matters very much at all, right? Yeah, we'll just make it the adult and make him better at fighting. Alright, thank you for the seed. We're just gonna go and explore and conquer. as we do. So, let's talk about this ring. Ring's got to be a real early priority. In order to make the ring, we need... It doesn't specifically have to be these materials, but they have to be materials of this type and at least this grade. So we're going to need some obsidian or some dragon bone or something. Now, we know that there's obsidian to be mined on one island. We know there's dragon bone laying around to be gathered on another. I think that's true with diamonds as well. So I would expect... Did we ever actually go to Dwarf Island? I bet the Dwarf Island has mithril. Now keep in mind, we're going to get 10 of whatever for free when we spend the advancement point necessary to mine it out of the ground. So we're actually pretty close to having all of these. That is, how many advancement points are we talking about, though? Okay, it's going to be 3 advancement points for any of those. So we should go and find Dragonbone or potentially Mithril. I think the Grey Island is the dwarf one, the one we haven't been to. This one will have Obsidian. Is it... There's Diamond on the Ice Island, right? And then the Elf Island... I can't remember. I think the Elf Island might have had the magic wood. They're called Ancient Wood. That's not helpful. The ring can't be made out of wood. Kind of weird that there are 5 other islands and not 6 when there are 6 types of resources. I mean, there's no place where you can pull mythical leather quite so easily. Or no, that's not true. We found mythical leather somewhere. Was it the Shadowlands? Maybe the Shadowlands has both of these? And I am noticing that the Shadowlands are right next to us. It's also worth noting that the Shadowlands are divided in 2, which means that this smaller portion might not have any really hostile villages on it or anything. Alright, I think our first goal is to move around the starting landmass until we have the advancement points to go after the thing. Because we're going to have to do some, like, basic versions of quests and stuff, right? We got to find some ruins. We just got to find some things to interact with until we have 3 advancement points. And once we have 3 advancement points, we can go mining. So he wants us to acquire some new food. This seems like a fine place to do that. Come across the ruins of a town. Well, I suppose we ought to search them. Search the ruins, but find mostly white ash and some rubble. We're going to have to be very attentive to what we carry here. We need to be very careful about not overburdening. The more you linger here, the more you feel an odd burning upon your spirit. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Wow, really? I mean, whatever, it's fine. Yeah, we didn't actually look at our equipment. I should probably do that. Okay. So we started with a steel pole arm and some bone javelins. The kid who is a hunter, can you have the bone javelins? Oh, I probably don't even want to. Well, no, you know what? With such a small amount of perception, the difference between 1.0 and 1.3 apparently is nothing. And this has that first strike damage on it. We have a monster artifact, which seems fine. What are your stats? Okay, so you have a reasonable amount of strength, but wisdom is really where you shine. But this monster artifact gives you better scaling on that wisdom in yellow challenges, and we're just going to have to try to avoid red challenges for a little while. See, Elf Kid has not very interesting stats, and a carry weight of 44. Do we have anything that is light enough for... No, we do not. We do not have a single thing that is light enough for this child to wield. The topaz jewelry may as well go on you, since it can't go on anybody else. You got a reasonable crafting tool, or gathering tool rather. Totally fine gathering tool. Okay, so you're the kid who is biased toward being a warrior. Alright, I think this is as good as we're going to get. How long until these kids grow up? 35 turns on the hunter, 36 turns on the elf. Immortal beings known for great wisdom and connection to magic. Brush It Off heals you when you receive damage, and it heals you for an amount based on your wisdom, currently scaling to 0.1. Not exactly amazing. Terrible carry limit, bonus perception, bonus wits. Honestly, these are pretty great stats. Okay, what about the Warrior Kid? Warrior Kid grows up in 39. Alright, like I said, I think if we can make it to the point where the children start growing up, we're probably going to be okay. Maybe that's short-sighted, but for the moment. Alright, how quickly can we gather grain? It takes us 3 turns to gather 5 turns worth of food. That is an acceptable amount of time to sit here and wait. As you cross the plains, you spot a busy beehive full of honey and nectar. While we should probably fight the bees, I think we should be able to take... yeah. Get full healing after the battle, get a little bit of bonus food, some free amber, which is fine. So we are at 2 advancement points already. Let's gather ourselves a bit of food and 2 turns to grab another load. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's stay put. Just trying to not die before the kids grow up, you know. We do need to keep adventuring. We do need to keep finding things. How's everybody doing? Okay, we're all returned to full. I think we can go fight these rats, maybe. Well, the rat encounter is probably not going to give us any advancement points, right? Because it's just wandering beasts, but we should still fight them. Get them out of the way. Okay, research materials, totally fine. We're not going to be making any use of that anytime soon. Want to stop and grab some fruit, why not? Okay, we got a new type of food, so he gives us more food, then tells us to go check out his house. So Dobrutro here doesn't really need a ton of wisdom, or mysticism rather. Honestly, wisdom is the thing he wants. I guess a point of intelligence won't hurt. Elf Kid, I have no idea what to do with the Elf Kid, but wisdom is good. Sulislava is biased toward being a warrior. I think we'll just grab strength and perception. Just lean those 2 into their roles, because I think we need them to be their roles. Grab a handful of berries here. Are we going to get another? Yeah, if we wait one more time, we'll get another group here. Alright, so we got enough food to continue along. We are running a little bit low on combustibles, I guess. Let's investigate... trying to think. Have we ever seen a difficulty 2 red challenge come off of this? Because we can do 1s. Let's go ahead and investigate the less safe area. Alright, we fell through the thing onto a hard floor, took a very, very small amount of damage in exchange for some loot. Loot that we don't particularly need. Not right away, at least. It would take us 2 turns to gather meat. You know, we got a bunch of burnable stuff. We may as well hang out and just cook it up here. So wait, where is Theodore's abandoned house? This is the other direction. We should take care of that so we can get the advancement points. Alright, a storm has caught us off guard. Try to outrun it. You run like the wind and feel that the gods look favorably on you. Our god, whose name I've already forgotten, Stribog? Yes, Stribog. I don't think he's explicitly the god of storms, right? That seems more like a... I can't remember any of the gods' names. Svarog? I think that's more of a Svarog thing. I think our god is maybe the god of sea storms, which is not the same thing. Alright, Theodore's abandoned house. We go in. There's a witch. We could try to brain our way out of this pickle. Killing her, I think, has given us better loot in the past. Yeah, let's use our intelligence. Okay, well, all we got was some herbs. You start with a little bit of cooking knowledge. I'm actually kind of curious if we wanted to cook here. Okay, we could cook up the meat and the herbs into a larger quantity of meat. But let's do that. Let's do that in a position where we're adjacent to something we actually want to gather. Oh, we're going to... yeah, we have the advancement points. So now we have to question. Do we want to just go for the Shadowlands right now? We have food, we have burnables. Kinda do. I think I do. Yeah, let's just get in the water. We'll cook once we reach the other side. And like I said, expect that things are going to go awry here a couple of times. I wanted to get in the water while the wind was still blowing too. That was pretty important. It is a shame that it's night because we can't see on the shore like at all. Okay, that's some pretty big bones right there. Night for a couple more turns. Let's make landfall. We'll get here, we'll go ahead and cook up some of that meat. So yeah, we turned 5 meat into 12 grilled meat. Seems pretty alright. You have arrived in the lands of darkness. Despite its dangers, the land of darkness is home to the spirit talkers. Shadowkin. Oh, I should mention, somebody suggested in the comments of the last episode that taking those cards that give you plus 10 reputation with the goblins or the orcs will cause wandering parties of goblins and orcs not to attack you as freely. So that might have been a good thing to do. I did not spend the god points to buy that card. Ooh, 5 Dragon Bone. That actually gets us very close to the amount that we need. This is the kid who's going to grow up into a hunter. So honestly, I'd love it if they had both of these abilities. I think we're better at yellow challenges right now than we are at the other types. So let's start with Ghostly Axe. Is that space really not a... Yeah, it's really not gatherable. Huh. That's kind of wild. Well, that being the case, we might want to get back in the boat. Building seems to have appeared close to your location. Okay, well apparently the dwarf smith felt it was important to appear right here. We're going to go ahead and take the job. I don't think we're going to try to do it right now, but we may as well take it. So what I'm thinking at the moment is that we probably want to disengage over to this other little island here. Just for safety's sake, there are probably fewer things spawning enemies there. I really do not like being here in the middle of the dark. Let's take points in Craftsman. Throwing daggers, not awesome for you. Wow. Each point of elf is a 10% wit increase. That's pretty good. And then Sulislava should definitely take Lucky Sod. Luck this early in the game is a powerful thing. Day's clear, yet suddenly before you hangs a singular patch of thundering clouds. We should be able to, yeah, deal with his swollen tooth, right? How would you pay me for my mercy then? Okay. I figured we could at least get a neutral ending out of that, which is good enough. So we have not found any sources of monster bone just yet. We really wouldn't need much. Oh, a pack of beasts has approached. They're pretty scary looking. Total defeat, huh? We really can't pull off a difficulty 2 red challenge without... Jesus. In what way is this difficulty 2? This guy by himself should be a difficulty 3 challenge. Okay. Well, we run away. Obviously. Oh, what a time. What a time for this. Yeah, demon game, etc. I feel like we do the Dola one all the time. Okay, so we gotta get in the water, otherwise we're just going to be killed by that pack of monsters. And hey, it's daytime, we can see again. Does the wind reduce... Yeah, the wind does not affect your visibility at all. Okay. Weird it unselected. Okay, bad news. This is where the Lightbringers are. Also, I don't know what this is. So we have the 2 points that spawned for the Dwarf quest, then the 1 point that spawned for the Hooch thing. I don't know what that is. I'm disinclined to get out of the boat and deal with it while it's right next to a Lightbringer village. Just looking for a source of Dragon Bone. I didn't think that this was going to be the hard part of this. Okay, that could be Dragon Bone. We have some time, right? We don't have to get off the boat right this second. It's not like we're on the verge of starving or anything. Let's just have a look around. Oh, see a shipwreck. We probably ought to just leave it be, right? As long as... Until we have, like, adults. Let's get out of the water and have a little bit more thorough of a look around. I'm debating whether I even want to engage with these ruins. Our party is weak as it is. Boy, I cannot find any sources of Dragon Bone. I'm not imagining this, right? There were Dragon Bone places on this island, weren't there? Okay, well, it wouldn't be terrible for us to get coal. We found the graveyard where every other kind of bone is. May as well gather a little bit of coal. I guess we could be pulling up some blood bone. Like take a point in this, and then we're gonna have to take a point in one of these in order to get the dragon bone anyway. Yeah, let's just go ahead and commit to this. So we now have what, 15, right? Yeah, and we need, was it 19? It was 20. Okay. And if we make this out of dragon bone, it'll provide about 4 points of stats, a ton of HP, a bunch of shield self, that demon, who is mostly a blocker, I believe, but still totally fine. What if we do this a little differently? That's... You know what? It's probably not worth worrying about. Let's just get a little bit of coal for the future and keep moving. I'm trying to last out the sanity reduction effect of the wind and everything as well. Find a small secluded pond surrounded by high grass and weeping willows bowing their sorrowful heads into the silvery surface. There's a figure sitting on the shore, hunched and clearly deep in thought and concern. Okay, well, approach. Ah, that's right. I remember this. There's no way we can beat a difficulty 3 yellow challenge. You failed and you felt compelled to come to the Vodnik's aid. First he made you jump and dance, and then swim in the pond with no clothes, then sing and clap hands with him, and then he finally left you alone, but you feel utterly drained. The Vodnik seems pleased as he disappears. Yes, yes, tragedy averted, thanks. Gotta just avoid people. Avoid everything while we're this weak. Oh good, there's no dragon bones over here at all. Well, I think we're probably going to lose some people, and by that I mean the adventure. Okay. Well then, I guess this is a good time to start over. Okay. Absolutely cannot interact with challenges on the island. In a sense, that was good. That's not information that's going to be super important here because we know, we should have already known, hey, don't touch it. But for the future, this gives us a sense of how dangerous it'll be to settle on another island. I don't actually know which island is the least dangerous. The Shadowlands feel to me like the first island of the ones that you don't start on, but that's probably just because we went there first. The first time we went off of our island. So it's not necessarily meaningful. Alright, we're going to try this again. Once more, we are looking to... Oh, I need to check my equipment and stuff. Once more, we are looking to get 3 advancement points, go to another island, and get some good materials. So let's see. Okay, this time, which kid is this? The hunter? This time, our apprentice hunter has a ton of gathering skills, so that's really nice. You can get the percentage. No, you cannot. Never mind. Okay, but we do have the ability to carry both of them. It's just the percentage increased gathering tool is much heavier than the other one. Alright, you can take that. We have a better bow than the kid is currently using. We have, ooh, a Random Blast 2 Codex. How heavy is it? Actually, really heavy. Very heavy is the answer to that question. And it does not have an attack that scales with Wisdom, unfortunately. So I think we're probably going to leave things as they are. And now that people are equipped, let's gather some grain. Alright, yep, I know your deal. I think it's a solid starting shape for a plan. Okay, so that's got us a considerable amount of food to start with. 22 turns worth of food. Let's go look around a little bit. At the very least, we need to try to find something to burn. The cries of a man. They are faint, but he comes from but come from somewhere close. This is the guy in the cave. Could we take a bear? Probably not, right? I'm just gonna ignore the cries and leave. Let's investigate. We found some scavengers. I think we're gonna be better at doing a yellow challenge than a red challenge at this moment. Grave injuries. Really? Is that the best we could manage? Because our chosen should be pretty good at yellow combat, right? Yeah, it looks like it. Well, it's a little bit of a shame that we have no idea where the enemies are going to appear. But should probably establish him as quickly as possible. Wow, okay, I see how they managed to pull this off. Why do they have so much damage? So we're definitely going to have to gang up on one of them, right? Try to do as much damage to this guy as possible. Does the elf kid have... Nope, no special abilities or anything. So all of the children are going to do a maximum of 2 damage. I'm going to put you down right here. And then we're actually going to use protection a couple of times. That's probably not as good as increasing our damage output, though, is it? Well... No, it's not. I'm going to do it once. So we'll take this guy out before he gets a turn. At least as things stand right now. We're going to take 18, and then we're going to take another 18. So hold on. Okay. I'm going to do 2 damage. Then I'm going to hit this guy for 18. He's going to die. Then we're going to take 18 damage from this guy. From his 2 attacks. Then we get to go again. And we'll hit him for... enough. In any case. So we are actually going to only suffer that first couple of blows. And their attack... it looks like their attack is able to shoot the other kid. I think what I might do here is play another protection targeting the elf child. Just because, as it is right now, if they both decided to hit the elf child, which they're allowed to do, it would bring them down to the death threshold. Ooh, that's really bad for us. That splits our damage at the beginning. So we take an additional 9 damage on that one. Okay, well that sucked. Boy, I sure hope that elf child doesn't die. Okay, now it doesn't matter. We totally have it now. Yeah, they can't make a play that's fast enough to be relevant. That was really close to working out. I did not anticipate them playing a 3rd copy of the same guy. That broke my plan in a pretty bad way. Well, I'll tell you what, it's not ideal. But if the elf kid dies, we are definitely just going to start over, because the whole point of, well, one of the points of this game is that elf kid is getting to see what an adult elf actually looks like in terms of stats and everything. This would be pretty nice for us to have. And the fact is, we don't need a second bad bow. We don't need this thing either. We get some food in exchange here. And then also some spices to help extend the food. Okay, well, that's not how I wanted that to go. So how badly is the kid wounded? Okay, at 0, not negative. We have seen people go negative before. It's not as bad as it could be. Another gathering tool here. Could do a little bit of cooking. Oh, we don't have quite enough herbs. Well, we will after this turn. Okay, no death yet. We're gonna sit in place here until kid's feeling better. Alright, you can just cook for us a little bit. Listening. Oh, sorry, I should have hit the other button there. Okay, our elf child has survived. That was a little narrow. Alright, so you get this. Which one are you? You're the warrior? I'm not wild about the wisdom on you. Like, we're definitely gonna make the kid a warrior, right? I guess we could go for like a Zerka or something. We probably don't need a warrior and a hunter. Let's go ahead and go for wisdom. Let's see if we can make a Zerka happen. And then Lithamira. The intelligence will make you better at crafting. None of these 3 skills or stats are what we wanted on that guy, unfortunately. Alright, well then I guess we're back in motion. Got ourselves up to 2 advancement points already. I suppose we ought to be heading toward the Shadowlands, but we could go up here and get obsidian. How different is the ring if you make it out of the other materials? Well, you're only gaining... Oh, actually, with obsidian, you make it out of fewer materials. So it's probably like 3.5 points of stats. You have 3.6. So I would rather do the dragon bone. If we could just find some. Ah, here we go. Here's something valuable. We need wood. And you two can work on that. Because we're going to have to sit here and gather wood for a moment. Hard to imagine not taking double wits. Seawaters stir and swirl before you in irregular circles and sudden bursts. Well, I know that if we investigate this, we usually get washed down river. We lose some stuff, but we also gain some stuff. And as it stands right now, our stuff is pretty bad, so let's get in closer and investigate. The swirls and sinkholes increase in intensity, and you notice now there may be some sort of serpent-like creatures swarming there. You also realize the sea and skies are getting very restless. A storm is coming this way, fast. I do not know that we could do a difficulty 2 red challenge. Let us leave. Alright, yeah, this thing. Choose one friend you will go and visit. Your friend is in the wrong direction, which is a little annoying. Okay, everybody's back to full. What Leopold said, finding his friend will be the challenge here, so we go in carefully and search. You find several toads, but no Kamooch yet. However, you think you've spotted it running from you a few times. So do we want to... We're probably better at the yellow challenge. Fine, they told me I was too slow to play with them, so I'll get you in. I'll show them. Alright, so he gives us a bloody human tooth, which is totally fine. Yeah, there's not really a big difference between those two, huh? Okay, and that puts that event down there. Alright, here we say that we will consider it, but for a better reward, we should be able to do this. I'll take that. That's fine. If we could get a goblin kid on top of the other stuff we have going here, I'd be very happy. May as well make camp, because we know we have enough gathering skill to grab herbs in a single turn. Here comes some bees. And you know what? We're fine on red health. That bad, huh? I'm debating whether I want to try to resolve that manually. You know what? I'll just take it. I'll take it and we'll heal. Ah, except that now we have to do a red challenge immediately afterward. I'm gonna do it. I think we can do it. Alright, bone and some garbage and some bone wands. Hey, what wand? What about the child? This we almost certainly cannot do now. Well, if we played it so Lethiamira took all of the damage... No, we just can't do it. Wait, really? Why would... Hard to imagine how that could have gone that way, even. And that was the hunter. Alright, well, I'm going to start us again. I know that's very frustrating. I guess that's a good reason right there to do even challenges that are easy in the early game manually. Because if we had done those challenges, there's no way that that kid could have taken that much damage. We would have not played the kid at all during the second combat. Ah, that's frustrating. I noticed that one of the things on the difficulty screen is the auto-resolve skill, the level of intelligence that the auto-resolver uses when doing the auto-resolve. Oh, we got this bug again. Weird. That's a great example of the sort of thing where making things more difficult is just annoying. It doesn't actually add anything interesting to the game. Because, like, if the auto-resolver does a worse job and I just do all the fights manually, that's not harder, it's just tedious. Well, more tedious. Geez, we don't really have a lot of good items here. So, the weapon you're using is exactly this weapon. This, on the other hand, is at least theoretically an upgrade, and it is faster than the weapon that Zoa's using now. And then this armor is way too heavy for a kid. Okay, nobody is even kind of a good gatherer this time. Everything's too heavy for everybody. Oh, I didn't check how long it's going to take our kids to grow up. It does seem to be a little random. 38, 44, Jesus, and 28. 28 on the warrior. You know, that's pretty good, actually. I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, this time it takes us 3 turns to gather 3 turns worth of food. Pretty annoying, actually. That said, it will probably complete that quest, but I'm gonna move over before we do it. There we go. We can gather a little bit of food here this way. This time we have way more stuff to burn and way less to eat. There we go. We're driving our food stores up pretty quickly here. Looks like we're about to be attacked by a wild boar. Nope. You got cowardly. There we go. Yeah, I know what I said. So I guess let's sit for one more turn. Let's get one more load of fruit in here. I mean, we're not in terrible shape. Sudden storm catches you off guard. Outrunning the storm has not traditionally been very effective for us. There's another event that is similar that we just had a little bit earlier, but in that one you don't have the option to take cover. I'm just going to take cover. Alright, run for the little cave. We should be able to do that. Cave keeps you safe, and when you leave you discover some stone and the remains of a less fortunate soul. Okay. Good for us. Let's investigate the safer areas on this one because we don't actually have full health. Let's just take it easy for a moment here. And in fact, we'll go into camp. We're not going to bother to gather any bone. I just wanted to make sure we're healing as effectively as possible. Okay, warrior child gets the option of taking strength. And then, yeah, for the crafter, this. Okay, all that stuff makes sense. Oh hey, difficulty 3. That's cool. I guess back off? I guess run away? The Darklands are nearby. We don't necessarily have to go very far. We don't necessarily want to go very far. Kinda looks like this thing might be stationary. Sometimes you see packs of higher difficulty enemies really early on that don't move around or chase you. Let's take a moment here. There's no way we're ever going to gather this. Let's take a moment here, get some healing, get some more grain. If we can make it until the warrior child grows up, we're going to be in much, much better shape. You are the hunter child, so let's... Perception versus double wits is tough. 2 points of wits is pretty powerful. Do we want to stick around? Probably not. We just get back to moving. Let's maybe get in the water. We'll just sail around these guys. I don't want to end my turn next to them if I don't have to, for fear that they will reach out and decide to touch us. This raft is actually pretty good. It's quite effective. So remember, we can't even begin to mine the advanced resources that we need until we hit 3 advancement points. There's no sense in going over to that other island early. I'm curious about this little bit of land that is part of our island. Let's have a look at that. So Theodore currently does not believe that we have produced a new type of food, right? Well, I guess we could just park right here and get the meat. This might be good enough to wake him up. Apparently not. Okay, well, what about some fish? I would just really love him to pop the next part of the quest, because I want those advancement points very badly. Alright, I suppose we can get in the water and head up north here. I mean, I guess we could cook a little. We don't usually have to, but we do have the stuff for it. Huh, that's not going to set off his thing either. Let's go ahead and attack these guys. Should be very doable. Alright, we've got a lot of new types of food at this point, so I'm wondering if this quest is just broken for some reason. That's a real shame, because it's a good source of early advancement points. Trying to make sure that our health is actually recovering as fast as possible. Okay, so we could do this thing. Sometimes the kid comes back from this as something useful, right? No, let's just get a warrior. Or attempt to get a warrior. In fact, we have an attractive warrior. Alright. I think that's going to make our lives a lot easier. We should probably reconfigure our equipment a little bit. So 9.8 and 8.9. This should probably go to Zoha. You can wear this stuff. And I don't think we want to switch off of the Quartz Club. Okay. I'm a lot less concerned about us getting murdered by a random animal at this point. Actually, can we talk to the Slavians? No. I don't know that we could do a difficulty 2 yellow challenge right now. We could probably knock out this bee's nest real fast. Our crafter is just underneath the threshold. Alright, yeah, this doesn't matter. Okay, he's fine. He has healed. Don't really want to fight these guys right now. And of course we encountered them in the one space of those around us where we can't get into the water. Alright, well, let's just try to heal up. If they attack us, we will fight it manually. We will rely heavily on Zoha. Unfortunately, Zoha is going to take bonus damage from the bee due to her not being at full health. This is annoying. We gotta be pretty careful with our dude here, but he does have 14 armor. Let's start with the crossbow. I'm going to go ahead and play you in hammer mode this time, since we know that the enemies want to group up on us like that. They only have one turn left. So we could hurry up. We could hurry up Zoha's first move, which will add time to this guy's attack. But it's not going to be enough to matter. We could play another copy of Nibor. I might do that. Okay, so see, this makes it tricky. If we play him here, he's gonna take probably 14 damage on the first turn. And then if anything's left alive, it gets worse. As it stands right now, we're going to take all of these attacks twice, though. Really sucks. No, that's not true. We'll be able to kill one of the bees during the first round. We are going to take all of the attacks, though. I think we have to play him. Because otherwise our warrior is going to die. Okay. So I'm allowed to shoot whoever. We believe the hammer blows do half damage to the secondary target. So that guy is going to survive to get his attack off no matter what. We just hit here. When the hammer blow goes off, that's what's going to do this guy in. Okay. We got there. We took very little actual damage. And it seems like maybe Theodore's broken, the Theodore quest. We did everything we could. I guess let's head back in the direction of the curve game. That might give us enough advancement to get out, to get to the materials we need to mine. It's a real messy start. So what are we looking at here? We're not full on red health, but we are full on yellow and purple. Okay, go in carefully, search for this guy. His friend will be hiding here. Apparently, if you have fruit, you can skip the challenge. But this shouldn't be a problem, right? We should be able to just... yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we're out of stuff to do for the turn. We certainly have enough stuff. We certainly have enough things to burn. We need to back off to a food supply. Okay, we can do this. Should I? I should resolve manually. In these battles where it could matter, should do more manual. Okay, Boguslava actually really powerful in these challenges. 15 damage hammer blows hitting at 8.8. That's really something. You're fast. So if I play you right now, you'll bump him to 11 seconds, but then... here's the problem. As it stands now, we can't prevent this guy from hitting us, right? I can play Boguslava in front of him, we'll get him for 15, and then he'll hit us, and then we'll get him for 15 again, but I can't. Oh, we do have hurry up. But we need to play it twice. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Okay, him playing a second copy of himself might have been pretty good for us. So yeah, we have a hurry up that we could run. We'd have both of the kids do hurry up on this card, and that would get us fast enough, I believe. I'm going to throw this headbutt on the table real fast. And then we'll do... So all we have to do is get him under 9. And it won't matter how fast this guy is. Okay, we win. Even with all of their careful card placement. Okay, really would love a helpful goblin child. So everybody levels up. Zoha does not get the option of taking any strength. How very annoying. We'll definitely take perception. Just keep pushing that that health up. Neobor should probably get Gatherer. I think we should always take Gatherer when possible. So a 5% increase in perception versus Ghostly Axe. I think I'm going to grab Ghostly Axe. And then for Boguslava, this is a yellow combat innate skill that scales off of wisdom. As much as I want extra points of crafting, I think we'd be very foolish not to take reliable argument in really any circumstance, but this one in particular. And then we have the 3 points that we need, and I would love to go down to the Darklands, but we have to have food first. Let's head this way. Okay, that's beautiful. I was hoping we would find a place where we could gather food from more than one source at a time. Alright. Let's just speed fish here until we can get off this island. That's it. Kill this bugger. Alright, we're going to do these things manually because it actually does matter quite a bit. And we're going to throw down that hammer strike as early as possible. Okay, he's very slightly slower than the initial hit. I mean, he does no damage at all. I'm not really worried about him. I'm going to put her down again right here. Settle down so that I am not in position to get hammer struck. They haven't really shown us anything yet, which makes me a little nervous about committing anything more to the table. I wonder if we just throw down Boguslava with the 5 damage. Yeah, let's just get him established early. And then we'll pass with our other point up. Let's see what else they do here. So they're just going to sludge her stats over and over again? It's not exactly terrifying. I guess we play weapon attack and ghostly axe. Okay. Weird choice. Yeah, it does. They probably shouldn't ask you to confirm the target when there's only one legal target. Okay. Ooh, a masterwork wand. I don't think we have a lot of use for this, but what about that goblin child? Okay, so now we have a decision to make. We are definitely better set up than we were last game. Are we set up well enough to attack this thing and try to get the goblin child, or should we just accept... You know what, we should probably just accept this. Not ideal, but let's not kill ourselves over it. And the spider pet's actually super good. Well, it's a very low quality spider pet. Like, Elf Kid can now contribute a little bit to red combat. That's nice. And we should probably have somebody hold this. This doesn't really matter. Yeah, the difference between their strength levels is pretty low. Okay. And we don't have... We yeah, we just barely don't have any... Oh no, the Elven Club. You can hold this. 2 strength. I mean, you're not going to be super useful with it. Alright, let's gather enough food to go sailing, and then go sailing. It's winter! It's harder to gather! Great timing. What a wonderful time for this. Well, let's do a little bit more gathering then, because the fish at least did not get any harder to gather. Okay, I think this is an okay time to pick up. 17 turns worth of... Man, that really does suck, though. Because we're already going to have trouble pulling up the dragon bone. The way winter works is kind of another good example of difficulty that doesn't add anything interesting strategically. Winter's just like, oh, sometimes you're very bored for a while. Okay, so this is the kid who is biased hunter. They don't really have a lot of hunter stats, and they only have 3 intelligence as well. We're gonna take the roll on hunter. Fingers crossed. Okay, Newborn came back successful as a hunter. We're about to have this elf child grow up too. Just something I'm really looking forward to, because I have no idea. I mean, I assume the first elf is not going to be anything special. Yep, I accept my divine whatever. Get your dialogue box out of here. We're trying to work. Okay, so we need to find a source of dragon bone. There's got to be one around here somewhere. The island is cut in half, which is not totally ideal. Like, I want it to be in multiple pieces, but I would prefer if the pieces were... Like, if there was one smaller piece. So try to reduce the odds that there were harmful monster encampments on one of them. Let's get out of the water. Up on the mountain here, we'll be able to see a little bit around. Arrived in the lands of darkness. Beware the whatever. Okay. Known for dragon bones and mushrooms. Ah, damn it. I saw a little bit of bone on the edge of the tile, I thought, and I was like, well, that might be it, but no such luck. Oh, hey, the spider thing. Well, let's run over here and ask if they're okay. Offer to see if you can get it. There's no way we're going to pass this challenge. But yeah, like taking that path through it at least does give you some stuff, or some advancement points. Oh, hey, wow, another kid already. Ever vigilant and slightly over-enthusiastic stork has done some real good for us here. Ooh, tough not to take double wits again. And then Zoha probably just levels up Headbutt. Headbutt's actually a pretty good skill. Well, do we want to just get back in the boat? Alright, your elven child will not be deemed adult among its elven kin for many decades yet, but they have reached the time of growth. As such, they will undergo the croppings, a coming-of-age ceremony. So I'm imagining that this kid's just going to become a gatherer, probably. Okay, we could go craftsman. We started with a craftsman, though, because I thought there was a good chance the kid would only be able to be a gatherer. So we're definitely going to go gatherer here. Yeah. Trials are successful, and the elven child grows into a youth under your watchful eye. So let's have a look at the stats of our adult elf here. 17 perception. That's very impressive. I'm just going to pass you this crossbow. 13 wisdom, 14 destiny. Not a ton of mysticism, but a lot of destiny. So actually maybe more of a wand user than a crossbow user? We probably have red challenges pretty much under control, right? Yeah. And then, did you pick up anything else interesting? I mean, like, Ghostly Axe is going to be awesome. Oh yeah, actually that's another good reason to go wand instead of bow, because you already have a useful contribution in red, but you needed one in yellow. Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't actually look at 15 gathering. That will probably do it. So we need to get some more food. We need to get some more wood. Those are both pretty important. We could move back over to here. I guess that's what I'm going to do. Move over to here. We have an advancement point to spare to spend on elven wood. Okay, that's totally fine. I don't think we're going to bother with it this turn. And we don't have the advancement point right this second, but we will any moment now. Yeah, we need one more research point for it. Let's just grab the ability to mine elven wood. Mine? The ability to gather elven wood. You on that. A couple of people on this, and let's just gather some wood and food for a moment here. Ambushed by a band of crazed scavengers. I think we actually should be able to... We might be able to fight a difficulty 2 challenge at this point. Ooh, they brought a lot of people with them. Okay, that's not bad. I'll take that. That's actually a huge amount of food. Bone artifact that we don't really need, but yeah, a huge amount of food. And some Slavic wrap and a dog for our hunter. And, oh yeah, this thing. Look for survivors, keep looking, step back, call out to them, do not do the battle. In harmony we must trust, even now. Speak to the people. Rosa, Vyacheslav, do you not recognize me? What has happened to you? This is an option we've not had before because we have not had the harmony domain in any of our previous playthroughs. I'm curious, let's see. You try to talk, but they do not engage. Do they even hear you? Okay. You feel encouraged by your steadfast resolve for peace. Boy, we are doing just the opposite of what we did last game in every single way, aren't we? But clearly, they do not share your belief. Your divine bond protects you, but eventually the enemy moves away, blindly following some unheard call. For some reason, that does 1 faith damage to Agusia, even though we feel encouraged by our belief. Whatever. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we have Hunter's Mark or another level of outmaneuver. I like Hunter's Mark in theory. I mean, lowering the combat attributes and delaying a person does seem good, and it scales with perception, which is obviously going to be high. And we already have outmaneuver, so we will have the opportunity to boost outmaneuver later, but I'm worried that if we don't take Hunter's Mark now, it might not show up again. And then we have the 3 things that you're good at available here. Let's take the Wisdom, I think. And I know she has Ghostly Axe. That might be a good reason to take the Perception instead, but no, there's 2 points of Wisdom here. We need the Gathering skill. And then you, boy, we don't really want any of these things for you. I guess Intelligence boosts sanity at least. Yellow challenges are definitely the type you are most likely to get played into. Yeah, alright. Not ideal. So, next turn... Let's stick around and do 1 more load of Elven Wood. Okay, 18 and 20 feels pretty alright. We got our advancement point already, but we may as well accept this quest. And then get in the water and sail around the coast of the island a little bit. We'll be able to find sources of dragon bone a little bit faster this way. Oh, really? Finally, he figured out that we've gotten extra food. Well, I suppose we ought to turn around and deal with this then. Kind of annoying that this is when he chose to give us that. Oh, I didn't level up person there. I don't even know who that was. Okay, we should be able to do this kind of stuff pretty trivially now. Agusia, you know what? I'm gonna try to force mysticism on you, I think. And then Nimleth... I mean, we could take Poison Dagger. It's not awesome. It scales with all the wrong stats, which is a shame. We already have Ghostly Axe. We can level up Hurry Up. I mean, Yeah, I'm not wild about either of those, to be honest. Okay, finally, the abandoned house. Let's use magic to... Nope, let's kill the witch. Yeah, you just get better stuff this way. Also, a cat was actually a pretty good pull there. Because first of all, I forgot to equip the wolf, and secondly, cat on the new kid puts us up to 4 mysticism. If we got a witch this early, I'd feel like we were in pretty good shape overall. And the kid should probably have... I guess it doesn't really matter what. Okay, so that's one of the locations for the Smith's Legacy. The other one is down there. Let's just try to get back in the water, like I said. Does it matter which direction we do it in? Not really. I guess it would be better to go this way. Okay, the warrior has a chance to take 2 strength. We're taking it. And a Gusia, I guess, poison throwing dagger? Neither one of those are very exciting. Let's get y'all in the water. Visibility and movement down. What a great time for that. Oh, I can't move the camera. We got some kind of sea event. That could be bad. Clouds darken, waves rise, a storm is coming, but we have an easier option through it thanks to having Stribog. We do not have great purple skill, but apparently good enough. The winds favor your path and carry you away from the storm. Feel Stribog's blessing upon you. Okay, lots of blessings, 2 points of destiny for not the right person. Yep, and now his destiny is so high that it's going to be an option in all of the choices. Okay, in theory, these lands are known for their dragon bone. I'm starting to doubt whether or not that's actually true. Okay, could be dragon bone under that. Not that I necessarily want to be right up under that Lightbringer spawn. But we have enough gathering skill, we might be able to pull this up pretty quickly. Let's look around a little bit more in this area. We should be able to do these... Here, let's get up here. We'll pull on this terrain artifact. We could spend an advancement point on granite. We do have an extra one. Yeah, sure. No reason everybody else in camp has to have idle hands, right? We pull up a little bit of granite and maybe use it to build something. Should be a couple of pretty easy fights here. Our warrior is not healing at all for some reason. Maybe we should resolve this manually. I guess we've been on the water. Let's start with this. That seems pretty good. Oh, I should move the spider pet to somebody else now. Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna put down 2 copies of you. And then we're gonna... Where's my hunter's mark? On the hunter. I suppose that makes sense. We can just slow that guy down, and I think that's a win. We just have to slow him down one more time, get him behind the elf. That's a win with no damage at all. We could also hurry up the elf. It doesn't really matter which way we do this. Okay. 2 great big ghostly axes. And again, making me choose targets despite the fact that these are effectively all the same guy. You know, at least it's more than 1 card on the table. I could get that. Okay, as the sun rises high, etc. So, we know that we can pass a difficulty 2 purple challenge. I think that's what I'm going to do. Got ourselves 12 obsidian, that's interesting, and a bunch of this stuff. Wait a minute. And then some guys are attacking, whatever. How did I take 11 damage there? That doesn't seem possible. Let's grab some more Master Craftsmen. You're going to be on the hook for the crafting, I think. Although actually his crafting skill isn't as high as the elves anyway. You know what, maybe gathering is more important for you. So, we just got a bunch of obsidian. If we wanted to make our ring out of obsidian, yeah, we totally have enough. Because we get 10 from spending the 3 advancement points on it. Maybe we just do that. I would much rather... I would rather do the dragon bone since we're already kind of in position to execute on it, and it does produce a slightly better ring. Let's pull up this terrain thing. Yeah. I accept the task, or whatever. Agusia sadly does not have the option to take mysticism again. I guess we'll just grab the intelligence. Whatever you can get 2 points of in a storm. And then you grab... Showing off for another level of... what are the odds that we're going to need Zoha in the yellow challenge, right? Okay, so let's just pull up this terrain artifact. Okay, we got the dragon bones. I think that it's reasonable to just do that. We'll use the obsidian for something else. So what type of bone... Let's see, after we do this, we could just go back to the middle island. The easy island, effectively. Where there is a source of shadow... There's a couple sources of shadow bone. Alright. I was just figuring out which one of these things we were going to take on the way up to Dragonbone. We could try to do a Runebone thing, I guess? That might be stretching. How much coal do we have? None this game. We had some coal in the other game. Hey, we're on an island that produces coal, though. Might not be such a big deal to just go for it. Well, hold on. Let's break camp, explore these ruins, and then go back there and start gathering. The remains of a non-human settlement. Find the remains of an old orcish settlement. In the old days, the clans were mostly nomadic, so this is a rare find, but you soon realize the area is riddled with traps. We cannot do a difficulty 5 challenge right now. Oh, interesting, but it stays on the map. So we could come back later. I would like to be in this tile. So we could gather, I mean, we can't really gather fruit. Maybe it's better to get into the Dragonbone tile itself and just gather fish instead. I don't know that we need to carry a ton of extra granite around. Caught off guard by a hurricane, you find a cave you can take shelter in. Let's take cover. But it turns out there's a hungry wolf in the cave. We could take a pair of hungry wolves. You will discover a small amount of clay. Man, why is it that we always discover the heavy resources? Okay, Dragonbone from you guys, fish from you guys. We have 14 turns worth of gathering time. Hard not to take 2 flying daggers here. It's so fast. I know that it's probably the case that he's already good in red challenges off of perception, although we don't have Ghostly Axe on him, so he currently can't do that in concept challenges. Yeah, that's probably an okay way to start. And then that is... what is that? Yeah, I was going to say the locations for Smith's Legacy are up there. I don't remember what this particular thing is. Okay, that's the Slavian village where the, we have to talk to them and figure out where Zbigniew is, and then, yeah, okay. Not a big deal. So, again, not saying that we're definitely going to try to do a Runebone thing, but, like, let me first of all, gather a load of Dragonbone here. Alright, we have enough now, right? Yeah, we have enough that we could make the ring. If we wanted to make the ring right now, it would be pretty good. If we wanted to try to make a Dragonbone version of, or a Runebone version of the ring, we're talking about a lot of refining, right? Yeah, we'd have to do the refine recipe probably 10 times, which means we need to find 10 coal. We need to have 100 Dragonbone. Honestly, that doesn't sound that unreasonable. If we could just find a coal deposit, and we have reason to believe that there will be coal deposits on this island somewhere, right? And look at how much better that is. Okay, you know what? This is a good time to reach a difficult decision moment, because this is about where we ought to end the episode. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to say thank you all so much for watching. That is going to be it for us for today. I'm going to think about this overnight. I invite you to leave your thoughts in the comments below. We could make a really early Runebone ring here if we can just keep dragging ourselves forward. And we've gotten to the point where most of the kids are adults, and I think we can maybe hang tough for a little while and get this done. But let me know if you think that's real stupid. And we'll see you next time.